Demo days, day one at Fort Worth, India. Next up, a ride on a 2022 Chieftain Limited. This is a 2022 Indian Chieftain. It's been a while since I've recorded a demo on a Chieftain, because for the longest time, whenever I'd be escorting these demo rides, the Chieftain was what I would ride, and then they came out with the Challenger, and then the Challenger was what I would ride, and then I got a Challenger. I did always like these. I do like the Challenger better. I like having the dash a little further away. But anyway, this is the Indian Chieftain. It has gone through a few changes since it first debuted in 2014, and even some more since the last time I reviewed one, which was probably the 2017 model year, when the Ride Command system first came out. So the Ride Command screen is here. It's big, handles all of your infotainment, and if I do a trigger on the left control pod, I'll get my navigation up here on the screen. But I've got a decent amount of information already on my display, because I've got the speedometer, a fuel gauge with fuel range on it, just like I do on my Challenger. I've got the tach, gear indicator, and odometer on this side. I've got a dead plug here, and I've got a power plug here that I can plug in my, like I can plug in a 12 volt. Up at the top of the dash here, there's this little compartment. You can store sunglasses in there, but that's got a USB port in it, so your phone can ride in there as well. You've got on the left side, you've got the horn, high beams, flash to pass, turn signal, controls for the radio, and menu screens. On the right side, power, fuel cutoff, cruise control, and power up, power down windshield. This one has a very short windshield on it, so you don't see much when it goes up and down, but you can feel it. This is a Chieftain Limited. That means that it's powered by the Thunderstroke 116 power plant. It's a 6-speed transmission. It is air-cooled. It has the 3 different ride modes. So there's where I can put in for stuff for navigation, right-hand trigger, and let's go back. I have controls for the radio, navigation with some vehicle information, only vehicle information, ride information. It does the rear cylinder deactivation so that you don't cook your leg at a stoplight. Power band audio's got the speakers here, and of course this bike's been around for a while now, so there's plenty of accessories available for it if you wanted to customize it and make it more your own. If you don't like the position of the bars, they have mid-rise bars and high-rise bars and reduced reach bars and all kinds of stuff available. Same with the seats. Standard with floorboards. Engine guard up front. So this bagger does, you know, it is built to eat up some miles. That new fairing, I believe it was 2019 that they first started putting that on the Dark Horse and the Limited Chieftain. And they kept the Chieftain Classic for a couple of model years. And I don't think that's around anymore. You can still get the old school fairing on a Roadmaster. But this is going to give you the feel of the older style, air-cooled, big V-twin touring bike. Part of the redesign was a reconfiguration of the riding saddle. So it's got a little bit of a ridge there to help hold you in. It's nowhere near as tall of a ridge as there is on the Challenger, but it's there. It's got enough give to it that it's comfortable. So with the exception of a few technical upgrades, the bike is relatively unchanged since it first came out. They you know, a few tweaks here and there, but it hasn't been redesigned from the ground up since it first came out. It's still the same engine, it's still the same transmission, it's still the same suspension, but they've rearranged the control pods a little bit, and they reskinned the fairing, and The ride command was the biggest change in 2017 when it first came out. For a while, these were the most popular Indians out there. So you're gonna, if you see Indians running around, there's an FTR. If you see Indians running around, most likely you're gonna see these. Because they're, and now with that fairing redesign from 2019, they look even more like a street glide. But they do not behave like one. In my opinion, the clutch is easier to use, the bike handles better. It has the power windshield that the Harley doesn't have, and all of that. And nothing against Harley, I just prefer the Indians. And that's just some thoughts on the 2022 Chieftain Limited. It, you know, behaves quite nice. I think now instead of the 111 Thunderstroke, it's the 116 in here. So it's got plenty of pep, it's got plenty of punch, power, whatever you want to call it. You twist the throttle, it goes. Thanks for watching this ride on the 2022 Chieftain Limited.